All right, we're gonna go over tying the Portuguese bowline. We're gonna talk about its pros and cons, considerations, what you should think twice about when you rig it, and where it's best used. This is called the outside in, inside out technique. Steve, you can pan, like our anchor points are the blue webbing on the trees, and we're gonna bring it back. We're gonna make like a big anchor forward. And so I'm not gonna start with my tail and route it from the outside in. It's going to be inside out and then outside in, because it's the OCD way, which does it matter? No, but for like people like me it does, because we're OCD, and it needs to be photo worthy. So as you can imagine, if I tie my bowline going outside in on the Portuguese, and I bring that bite in, I create this crossover, as you can see, just like that. So if I go inside out instead, when I build it and I bring that bite to equalize or share, everything is straight. So inside out first, and then we're gonna bring it over there and go outside in. So here, outside in. This, grab your tail, walk it back, and let the system just take care of itself. Tie my bowline, bring this loop in, get my bite, bring it up, encapsulate everything. There's my bowline. And now retrace. And then tighten everything up, dress it and set it. The pros to this is, after I tie it, I don't have to worry about where my resultant is initially, because after I tie it, I can just pull and adjust my resultant to wherever I want it to be. And if it's over here, then I can set it and it'll hold. You want to give serious consideration, because what's to say that if this anchor blows out, that the cord in here will hold with the tension of the knot, or will it slip through? So I'd be very, I think twice. I'd be very hesitant to make a Portuguese bowline on like a big anchor such as this, or even on my main anchors. Where I would want to do this is if I'm using this to back tie like a vortex head, or even like tie into a litter bridle, something that's a little bit more compact, a little smaller, and it's not on my system anchors. So let's do that on the head of a litter. If you want to rig a litter for a vertical orientation, or just a simple belay line for like a low to moderate angle, like walkout. Let's just say that you have litter handlers that are carrying the litter, but it does need to be belayed because it's kind of chossy. Maybe you're in a scree field or something. No risk to the rescuers, but if you lose the litter, it's going to go down some rocks and you're going to lose it. So on a smaller scale. So this is the head of our litter. I'm going to go to these tying points, these stanchions here and here. The same methodology as I used before. I'm going to go inside out. And then outside in. Outside in. And just pay attention where I route these, because I only want to wrap around one stanchion, not both, and bring everything back up. And I want to get enough of a bite, or enough of a tail, to be able to tie this off. Okay. So again, I make my loop. I bring this into it, just like that. And then I can do it with a bite or without a bite. In this case, yeah, why not with a bite? But without a bite doesn't really matter when you're doing it with a litter. So inside, through the loop. Double check, do a sanity check, make sure that it's actually a bowline, and then I can wrap or give myself a little bit more. So So I can complete that forward-facing knot on the Yosemite retrace, wrap around everything, get a little purchase point for that final forward-facing loop, bring it back through, dress everything up, set it, check the center point, which is great. So I want to be able to center that right at the center of the head. And that's a good 2-point. Well, is it load sharing or load distributing? That's the question. I don't know. So when you load it, it probably is going to act like a load sharing anchor. I would suspect, more often than not. So let's just call this a 2-point load sharing Portuguese bowline attached to the head of the litter for a just a low angle belay or a straight up vertical orientation down a high angle face.